Good Friday evening, everybody. David Paul with you in the KHOU 11 Weather Center. This is your 8 o'clock tropical update. Welcome to everybody watching us on Plus and across our digital platforms. So this is the latest from the Hurricane Center on what's going on in the tropics. Erin is now extra tropical. It's no longer a tropical system, even though it still has winds that are near hurricane force, zipping off to the north. We'll take a look at that. This wave right here has a 90% chance for development. That has not changed. What has changed is this, and I didn't get a chance to update this, but notice how the color of this is now yellow. So at this afternoon, we had a 40% chance. We had it orange that this would develop. That has now dropped down to a 30% chance that develops. Models are not picking up on this really at all. We'll take a look at that. I'll show you the modeling on all of this here in just a second. What you also don't see, and what the first thing is we look at, is nothing going on in the Caribbean. It is quiet as a mouse. Some puffy cumulus out in the Gulf, quiet as a mouse. Aim to keep it that way as long as possible. So we are going to give you the complete tropical update here. First of all, real quickly, still have a few lingering showers after just about everybody got wet at some point during the day today. Light rain, drizzle, cloudy skies down across Galveston and the southern portion of Brazoria County, Gulf Freeway over the causeway is a little damp, but the thunder's gone. This should continue to weaken and go away pretty quickly. And the same thing down toward Matagorda Bay. Coastal showers are weakening. Still have a flood advisory for another 30 minutes near the Victoria area after some heavy thunderstorms caused a little bit of ponding there, but that's about it. Okay, post-tropical storm Erin. Winds are still at 90, still near Cat 1 hurricane force, 94 minimal hurricane 1 Cat force winds. Racing northeast at 33 miles an hour. So this thing is caught up in the upper level winds and zipping into the North Atlantic. Pressure's at 957. Just hold that number in your head, 957 for a little bit later. Big picture, there goes what's left of Erin. This is the spot that has a 90% chance for development moving to the north. And then this is the spot that has had a 40%, now down to a 30% chance for development, moving to the west. If you remember, we had a little spot in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean yesterday. That's fizzled out. Nothing in the Caribbean, nothing in the Gulf. 957, don't forget that. I love this. So this is our ocean heat content map. This is a combination of sea surface temperature and how deep that warm water goes, how much actual energy is available to a storm. And before Erin came through here, this area right here, this finger now that's now been scoured out, was all green and yellow, plenty of energy here. And if you remember, the storm right in here went to Cat 3, Cat 4, Cat 5, and it just sucked the energy right out of the ocean. Left a scar in the ocean heat content map. It literally cooled the ocean. Upwelled cold water from deeper down, used all the available energy. Again, you get a storm cranking a Cat 5, it takes a tremendous amount of energy to feed a beast like that, and that's where it just sucked it all out. Just an incredible view there of what a hurricane can do to the ocean heat content. Bigger picture, hurricanes are nature's way of trying to rebalance global temperatures from very warm and then distributing that heat to the cooler polar regions. So what we've done here is, through the storm, taken a lot of the heat out of the tropics and then moved it up into the North Atlantic. So there goes what's left of Erin. Erin's going to stall out. This will, as a big counterclockwise North Atlantic storm, bring a lot of wind and rain to the United Kingdom as we head into the first part of next week. Okay, that one zipped out ahead of me. So let's look at the computer models on this. Just to set your bearings, here's Erin. So these lines on the map, these are isobars, lines of equal pressure. And what I've done to kind of clean the map up is that no lines for the Euro in black or the GFS, the American, in red will show up unless the pressure is at or below 1008 millibars. Lower pressure than that would indicate a strengthening low pressure system, and that's what I want to monitor. I don't want to monitor anything other than a developing low pressure system out here. You saw the pressure in what's left of Erin. It's way down there at 957 millibars. So the lower the pressure goes, the more intense the storm is. And I don't want to see anything above 1,008 millibars. Above that, you really don't have much going on with low pressure. 957 millibars. Okay, so everything you see here is below 1,008. That's Erin. You'll watch it exit, and after that, you just don't see anything developing down here. Even this spot they have at a 90% chance for development, on our forecast models, the American and the Euro don't drop it below 1,008 millibars. Got 957 stuck on the brain now. What you do see, first of all, nothing developing Carib or Gulf. This is through Monday. Nothing new in the open Atlantic. Nothing new coming off the west coast of Africa. You see this right here, one little isobar where a low pressure center is going to form off the east coast. That is not a tropical low. That is more of a nor'easter than anything else, because you may have been watching the news here on KHU. I don't know if the other guys are talking about this. We got a big cold front coming into the United States next week that may impact us. That will be low pressure forming as a reflection of that colder air coming down across the eastern half of the country. So that's a little nor'easter in August. It's very unusual. That's what that low is. That's through Monday, and we take it out on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and again, that's another more like a nor'easter forming off New England, zipping northeast, not tropical. And what you also don't see is nothing like that showing up in the Gulf, the Caribbean or the open Atlantic. So are the tropics going to go to sleep for a while? We will continue to just take it one day at a time. Monday. September 1st, looks quiet. All right, now I do want to talk a little bit about this cold front here. I'm not going to give it all away because modeling is just coming in. We're going to update it at 10 o'clock. But if you watched last night at 10, you've been watching me today, big changes are coming. 80 in Houston, 70 in Fargo. So it's August, but we're looking up here. Churchill's at 48, Coral Harbor's at 48. Kugluktuk is mild at 70. Alert's at 33. Old Crow's at 59. Nothing bitter cold up here, but it is cool. And the reason we're looking at this at all is because the upper level wind flow is going to go into much more like a fall and winter-like pattern here in August. It happens sometimes. I remember a few years ago, we had something like this where a front came in and in August, and it did give us a little cool down. So this is the pattern. That is cross-polar right there. So whatever cold air is available is going to come down into Hudson Bay. That is Hudson Bay, that body of water. And then look at the jet stream pattern dipping way down. In fact, the trough axis all the way down to the Gulf. That's really unusual for August, but there it is, run after run after run. And so models are picking up on this, and they are bringing in some unusually cold weather for the eastern half of the country. If we're going to see any of this cooler weather, we'll say less hot, it would be Tuesday or Wednesday. So at 10 o'clock, the models on this are just, the new ones are updating right now. Our live broadcast comes up at 10. That's when I'll have the updated models. We'll take a good look at this. But I can tell you that as of yesterday, they were forecasting lows in the 50s, all the way into Tennessee and Kentucky, going into early next week. So we'll take a close look at that as we get into the 10 o'clock news. That's our next live broadcast at 10 o'clock. We'll see you then for the next live update.